that effect, no?
Yes,
All right.
Mr. President.
Let me just finish off with one or two more points. Just to clarify, does this resolution include agencies whose budget does not come from the GAA, like income-generating agencies, but whose funds are nonetheless public, but ano yan? If we're talking of transparency, hindi ba dapat kasama yung mga kinikita nila, katulad ng GAB,
PAGCOR.
Games and Amusement Board, PAGCOR,
The PCSO.
PCSO, MTRCB, the Supreme Court.
No, Mr. President, since
Billion yun sa Supreme Court.
I agree, Mr. President.
Supreme Court makasali sa ano natin. Makasali ang Supreme Court. Sinasabit nila sa atin. Supreme Court. Yeah.
Mr. President, those GOCCs that you mentioned, they don't come to the Senate, to Congress, both houses, to authorize their budget, Mr. President, since there are, they have a corporate-like body, Mr. President. It's their own board that approves their budget and their expenditures, Mr. President. So it does not include the GOCCs, Mr. President.
But they appear during budget.
Only certain
because of their budget, no?
Only certain GOCCs like PNOC, Mr. President, NEA, National Electrification Authority, but the other GOCCs, especially the ones created by the SEC, they don't come to the Senate, Mr. President. Like PAGCOR, di naman ho sila pumupunta dito.
So you're saying that in the GAA, whether it's transparency or not, the GAA-like incoming generating agencies whose funds are nonetheless public are not included in this transparency proposal of ours?
Well, Mr. President, because they're not, their budget is not being appropriated by Congress, and we're not authorizing their expenditures. So they don't come here, Mr. President. So they are being audited by COA, nevertheless, but they don't come to Congress to get their authorization on their budget. Only certain, Mr. President, like National Electrification Authority, which is a GOCC that comes here and requests for their budget. So we will publish their budget requests, Mr. President.
Is there no chance for us to say that even though they do not pass through the GAA, but still those are public funds?
That's a very good suggestion, Mr. President.
Dapat sila, they should be encouraged to follow the lead of the House of Representatives and the Senate in being transparent in the use of public funds.
But Mr. President, I totally agree with our good minority leader because even though they are a corporate-like entity that has that has their own board and they approve their own budget, nevertheless, in the spirit of transparency, those entities should also publish their important financial records, Mr. President. I believe that because the national government is implementing what they call the transparency seal. If you go to the website, Mr. President, may transparency seal. They upload all of the important financial documents so that the public can look at those financial documents. I believe that all government entities, including GOCCs like PAGCOR or PCSO, they're required to upload through the transparency seal, Mr. President. But we will take your suggestion seriously, Mr. President, and see how we can come up with a bill that will require these agencies also to at least send information to the Senate. No?
In that case, can I count on your support when we tackle the FOI bill?
Yes, Mr. President. I am one of those who believe in that measure, Mr. President.
Very good. Thank you very much then. Just one final question. Will there be any penalties for agencies that fail to comply or are delayed in their compliance?
Well, Mr. President, since this will be the coverage of this bill is the Senate and the House of Representatives, Mr. President. So we have our own administrative mechanism to penalize those who do not follow this resolution, Mr. President. Admittedly, Mr. President, after approving this resolution, it is now the offices of our respective Congresses that will operationalize this resolution. For example, Mr. President, the LBRMO will be part of this operationalization. The Bills and Index, the IT office of our Senate will be part of this because they'll be the ones digitalizing the information, uploading the information. So all of these offices now will be mandated after approval of this resolution, Mr. President.
But your answer is a polite no.
Well, Mr. President, pag may hindi sumunod dito sa atin, meron naman tayong administrative mechanism. Pwede naman silang mamemohan o ma-suspend o ma-penalize, Mr. President. What's important now is there's a legal basis for these offices to follow. No, yun ang importante.
All right. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you to our minority
gentleman
leader.
from the city of Valenzuela. I look forward to the period of amendments. I will propose an amendment.
Thank you, Mr. We welcome the amendments, Mr. President, so that we will have a complete and holistic measure, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you, Minority Leader. Yes,
Mr. President, next to interpolate is the distinguished gentleman from the great province of Cavite, no other than Senator Panfilo Ping Lacson. I move that he be recognized, Mr. President.
Senator Ping Lacson is recognized to interpolate.
Thank you, Mr. President. Will the good sponsor of Senate Concurrent Resolution Number 4, the distinguished gentleman from Valenzuela, yield to just a couple of questions, Mr. President?
Yes, Mr. President, I would again, it's an honor to receive questions from, I call Senator Ping the budget hawk of the Senate. Talagang hawk-like yung kanyang pagmamonitor ng budget.
Thank you, Mr. President. My first question is, what is the legal effect of a concurrent resolution as compared to a law passed by Congress?
Well, Mr. President, the concurrent resolution will bind both houses, Mr. President. It's true that the law can also bind both houses, but in this case, since this is a resolution, it's expressing as well as binding both houses in the recommendations that are laid forth in this resolution, Mr. President.
And the legal effect of a law passed by Congress is?
Well, the legal effect of the law is...
it binds even the public. It's binding on the public as well as the
yes, Mr.
houses of Congress.
Correct, Mr. President. In this case, it's only both houses that are bound.
It is more institutionalized. I mean the law.
Yes, Mr. President. Correct.
I asked that question because I filed Senate Bill 32
Yes, Mr.
in
President.
the 20th Congress. It was referred to your committee, Committee on Finance, and secondarily to the Committee on Electoral Reforms and People's Participation.
Correct, yes, sir.
And I hope we can collaborate
Yes, Mr. President.
to schedule a hearing forthwith.
Yes, Mr. President. You have my guarantee on that measure, Mr. President. I took a look very quickly on that measure, and it's a very good measure that empowers the public, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President. As a matter of fact, this is the 5th time that I'm filing this measure. I filed it in the 14th, 15th, 17th, and 18th Congress. Unfortunately, hindi po lumalabas sa committee. Walang committee report. So I'm glad that there is now this concurrent resolution being sponsored by unanimously by all the members of this house, of this body. So anyway, my second question is, will the uploading of documents as mentioned on page 4 and enumerated on lines 3 to 26, particularly the written individual amendments submitted by members of the House of Representatives and the Senate to the respective chairpersons, House Committee or the House Committee on Appropriations and the Senate Committee on Finance. Yung po ba kasama rin sa ma-upload ng mga dokumento? Kasi ang practice po natin, even in the House, pa second reading pa lang, may bulungan na. Hindi na take up sa plenary. Hindi po ba ganyan ang ating naging practice? Because it's too tedious, I understand. Because if we entertain all individual amendments on the floor, baka hindi tayo matapos. So, for exigency, para mapacilitate, ang ginagawa na lamang natin, nagsasabit ng mga individual amendments sa chairman or sa chairperson ng Senate Finance Committee. But ang question ko po is, pati ba yun i-upload natin sa website?
But Mr. President, since the committee report of the GAB from the Senate side will be uploaded, we will now see the changes, Mr. President. Makikita natin in to from, Mr. President. So, in other words, we will now have the ability to look at the changes on a very granular basis per PAP, per office, even sub-offices, Mr. President. Makikita na natin yan, Mr. President.
I understand that, Mr. President. Ang problema lang doon is hindi natin malaman kung sino ang sponsor o proponent ng amendments.
Well, Mr.
If we upload it, then we will be able to identify and we can point back to the proponent or proponents of the amendments.
Yeah.
That's my concern. That's why I ask if written submissions of amendments will also be uploaded, so we can identify from both houses, no, the House and the Senate, sino yung nag-insert, sino yung nag-realign ng or sino nag-introduce ng amendment para madali makita. Kasi sa ngayon bulag po tayo lahat eh. Nakita lang natin bumukol sa isang district, no, from say 200 million bigla na lang naging 15 billion, and we cannot identify. We cannot point to the district representative simply because yung iba nagpa-park. And this is a common practice. We all know that, ano? Particularly yung mga party list representatives, wala naman silang distrito. What they're doing is, pakipark nga dyan, pero sa akin yan. So, yun po yung point ko. Kaya gusto ko, uploaded natin with proper identification ng mga proponents. So, I go back to my previous question. Will it include the written submissions of amendments ng individual members, particularly individual amendments, Mr. President?
Well, Mr. President, we had a long discussion on that. No, I consulted the technical staff, LBMRO, and some of our experienced technical staff. And the way I understand it, Mr. President, some of the amendments evolve over time. And at the same time, Mr. President, when someone makes an amendment, for example, nagdagdag sila, Mr. President, typically it's the chairman that looks for the source para dagdagan yung magbabawas sa iba. And at the same time, the amendments also evolve. Like for example, nababawasan, or just to have the same effect, it's moved to another PAP or moved to another office. So in other words, Mr. President, the original amendment that might not be the same with the final product.
Nevertheless, Mr. President, all I want is to trace back to the proponent or proponents, no matter how many proponents there are. If these are amendments to the amendments, then fine. But we have to be able to identify kung sino po yung proponent or proponents ng amendments. Can we do that, Mr. President? Kasi we are for full transparency. The best or the most genuine transparency is full transparency. Kasi kung hindi rin full transparency, parang ano tawag dyan? Ayoko sabihin ng lolokohan, ano? Pero hindi rin fully transparent eh. It will defeat the purpose, Mr. President, because what we should know or identify yung proponent, kasi naandun po yung taguan eh. Pagka hindi ma-identify, back to the proponent or proponents of the amendment or amendments, ano, kanya-kanya tayo singitan na naman dyan, Mr. President.
Well, Mr. President, that's why when we were discussing that internally and I was consulting with the technical staff, because of that complication, my alternative is to make sure that the third reading, the committee report, Mr. President, surprisingly, to be